Hey, what's up guys, Edison. Finally able to do my favorite type of video, which is a CGC return video. This is going to be like the first bulk that I've got back for 2021. It's a 50 card submission. You saw this sub in my like how to submit the CGC video. I went over the cards at the beginning of that video, and for reference, this order, and this is kind of like a reference for how long CGC bulk is take. This order, I should say, got received by CGC on 12/8, and it got shipped back to me on April 9th, I believe. Yeah, so right around 4 months. We can just say 4 months clean. And you know, that's obviously not like a real 4 months because there's the weekend and whatnot. So it is a little bit, I think I don't know, it's tough. It's slow, I'll say that. I will also say that December was a really bad month to submit it because there's actually a lot of holidays in December. You just think they got Christmas break off, they have time off for New Year's. There's actually like just so much going on and so many holidays in December. That kind of makes sense that this order was delayed. But yeah, I can only imagine that they're going to get more and more delayed as time goes on. Oh, sorry. And yeah, my assumption is that it doesn't, like, even if it's 4 months now, my order from January is probably going to take 6 months. And my order from February, maybe 8 months. And the last bulk order I sent out, maybe 10 months. If, you know, it's obviously going to keep ramping up too, because PSA has shut down submissions for the meantime. BGS is also extremely expensive, and they're really not as convenient to use as comparison to CGC. So it's not looking great for people, maybe like, you know, maybe you and me and a lot of other people who have huge amounts of submissions outstanding, and it really kind of puts like throws a wrench in it all for like just constant turnaround. I can't really do like a revolving door style of submissions, considering that I don't know when I'll get my orders back. All right, so this is what we got. This is how the 50 cards look out of the box. And while it's been like a super long time since I've seen these cards, I am happy I did the submission video in December. So I still remember what I sent in. And for reference to, this is like a pretty diverse group. This was like when I was buying a lot more stuff off of Facebook Marketplace. So you're going to see a good amount of English stuff in here. I'm just trying to think how I want to do this. Let's just start with the pile on the right and work our way down. So yeah, as I said, I know what cards are in this because I did the video, but I'm not particularly sure on the order that the cards are in. So let's start off with the first Japanese new back. Oh, Sapporo Pikachu in a CGC 9.5. This is a gem mint card. Let's see, it got 9.5 centering, 9.5 surface, 9.5 corners, 9 edges. This is one of those really nice ones, really cute artwork of Pikachu, Alolan Vulpix. I actually forgot this guy's name. And I personally like the rendition in the back with Eevee. I think that's Fennekin and Piplup. But yeah, really beautiful artwork. This card is from the Sapporo Pokemon Center Sapporo reopening. Just really nice artwork, winter theme to it, because I think it came out around winter time for 2016. This is a card I picked up over the summer for I think around like $20, $20, maybe $25. So yeah, what I put into what that card cost then, and like the cost of grading, and maybe in for like $36, $35. So you can't really go wrong. Really nice artwork. So yeah, 9.5 is honestly a pretty good grade. I talked about it then, like 9.5s to me are like, I consider that more or less like a perfect card in CGC. Let's see, I'm guessing it's another 9.5. Support Pikachu. Let's see. This one's actually stronger on subgrades. This one's 9.5 centering, 9.5 surface, but 10 on corner and edges, while this was 9.5 and 9. If you want to go into more minute details, if I were to list these, and if I was nitpicking, I might charge a little bit more than the 9.5, or like have like a higher threshold for an offer. Oh, I'm sorry if you can hear me like snorting and stuff, just because I feel super congested. But I do like doing these videos. I want to make sure I get this out in a timely fashion. Here is a CGC 9 in the same card. This one actually kind of sucks because we can see on the label, it actually was just hurt by centering. The rest of the card is in just as good condition as the other 9.5, but they're saying that this was an 8.5 on centering. I don't know. These types of grades feel a little bad, that if the centering was just like a half a grade more, I could roll up because, realistically, it's the same exact condition as the other 9.5s, but it's just considered a worse off card because of the centering grade, which I have absolutely no control over. That's just a manufacturing thing. Japanese Skyla 9.5, 9.5 centering, 9.5 surface, 9.5 corners, 9 edges. So yeah, pretty, decent 9.5. This is a little bit stronger than the basic, but it's a good card. I love this artwork. I think this is one of the nicest artworks that they did from Shiny Star V. And I have even more Shiny Star V singles that were in a bulk order that I sent out after this. That one is scheduled for grading too, so maybe like in 2 weeks you'll see another one of these big orders come back. Skyla in a 9. This one got docked for surface, which, all right, we'll take that. Surface is like something that I have some control over. Yeah, really nice artwork. If you're not a fan of modern, I do recommend you look into kind of, Sword and Shield full arts. I think that's really nice quality stuff. Here's a Japanese old back. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Feraligatr. This is from the Neo Premium file. If you don't know what that is, it comes with, we'll see the other hollows after this, I'm guessing. It comes with the 3 Johto lines as promo cards in this file. But here's the Feraligatr. Really popular card. Honestly, a 9 for how old this card is. This card is 22 years old at this point. Yeah, 9 for a 22-year-old card. That's honestly really good. And, this is a pretty common one, but a decent grade to get. Here we have Meganium in a 9 from that same file. This is really nice Meganium artwork, though. But these are mint cards. These are super mint cards. And, I personally think I got off well. I paid $10 for the binder from Japan, which, it's 9 cards, and the hollows are only really worth anything. But $9 for some really beautiful hollow artworks, I don't think you can go wrong. And obviously, with when I purchased these, the market has kind of just exploded, and this stuff has honestly gotten a lot harder to find. And, mint ungraded. And this is probably the last one, the Typhlosion. Yep, Typhlosion, Neo Premium file, hollow, 8.5, 8.5 centering, 8.5 surface, 9.5 corners, and 10 edges. And even in 8.5, I think Typhlosion is a little bit more popular than, I feel like it's definitely more popular than Meganium and a little bit more popular than Feraligatr. So I think you could almost just like throw this as the same price point as those two. Yeah, really nice one. Really nice hollow. I'm sorry if I'm sounding a little down. I just don't really have too much energy right now. Let's see. Pokemon English back. Shining Ho-Oh. This is the promo you get in the Shining Legends Elite Trainer box. And someone just brought to my attention that those boxes are like $300 now, which makes me sad because I had 20 of those boxes that I sold for $100 a piece, maybe like a couple months ago. So, instead of $2,000 for those 20 boxes, I could have potentially had $6,000. But that's just how it goes. I took that money and bought other things with this, which is still fine. Yeah, that's just one of the sad things. But yeah, this is something I wanted to do a video on then, is if the Shining Legends Elite Trainer boxes are $300, you can still pick up the Shining Ho-Oh promo for like $40, ungraded, which I think is a good deal, just in comparison. Yeah, Black Star promo, Shining Legends Elite Trainer. I'm actually surprised to get that good of a grade. Another English. Shining Lugia. This is from the Shining Legends Super Premium Collection box. It comes with Celebi, Shining Celebi, and then I think Ho-Oh as like a GX. Oh, sorry, I'm very congested. But yeah, this one got docked on surface, which makes sense because how the cards are packaged in that as well. They have like plastic nubs holding the card in. They've kind of like shied away from that in the Sword and Shield era, but Sun and Moon was super prevalent. So a lot of these promo cards have like dents on the sides, just because like they package them in very cheaply. I'm just trying to see if we can find, the real surface dents. I might look over this later on. But I mean, honestly, these cards still present really well, and a 7.5 is really good. And this is an expensive card in a 10. And it kind of explains why there's so few 10s. Because as I mentioned, they're just damaged because of how they come packaged. Shining Arceus in a 9. This is just a regular set card from Shining Legends. Shining Legends has just gotten so expensive as of late. I think it makes sense. I always was in the boat that Shining stuff is kind of undervalued. These Shinings are relatively hard to pull, and the packs are expensive, and they've only gone up in price. Here we have Shining Arceus, CGC 10, 9, 9.5 centering, 8.5 surface, 9.5 corners, 9.5 edges. I think I pulled this card myself from like an Elite Trainer box. So yeah, just really nice. And I love what they did with this whole Shining line. If you've never seen them in person, I recommend picking at least one up. English back, over. Shining Jirachi in a 7.5. This one got docked super hard for surface, 6.5 surface. I'm not too disappointed by this one, mostly because I think I paid like $6 or $7 on Facebook Marketplace. So it was bought from someone else, so I have even less control over the condition. But yeah, $7. This card is just, this Pokemon is popular. The card's gone up, so it's not really like I'm losing too much, even in this lower grade. So I kind of did get bailed out because of the general market momentum. Next up, we have another English pack. Charizard EX. This is one of my favorite Charizard promos they did. It was Charizard from the EX Red and Blue collection box, which was like a Generations era promo line. But yeah, if you look at the artwork, it's Charizard with Flareon and Magmar. Really, really nice. 8.5 centering, 9 surface, 8 corners, 9 edges. I knew this one would get docked pretty harshly because similar to how I talked about the packaging for the other promos, this one comes even worse condition just because of how it's like stored. And when I unboxed it, I noticed like this back corner had a bad ding. Another English back, lots of English this set. Shining Genesect from Shining Legends, one of my favorite Shining cards, which I think, you know, it's only hurt by the fact that most people don't care for Genesect, but I think it's really nice artwork of the card. That red holo stands out quite a bit. And this one, again, got docked on surface. You know, maybe in hindsight, I should have done a better job like pre-grading this stuff and looking at the surface, but I really didn't think these would get lower than 8.5s. Especially this and the Shining Jirachi are kind of outliers. Another English pack. Let's see. Oh, this one's great. Mewtwo and Mew GX. This is from the Power Partnership Tins. This is one of those cards that I really think could go far. One of the nicest artworks for Mewtwo and Mew. The Mewtwo and Mew GX line is actually super expensive. And the last in this pile is a Japanese old back. Oh, Misty's Tears. I remember sending this in. I kind of hyped it up then. This is what a lot of people love they call it the band Misty's artwork. It is, they changed the artwork in English just because the side profile of Misty was deemed like inappropriate for American audiences, or maybe like any audience outside of Japan. But yeah, Misty's Tears in a CGC 8, docked on surface and corners, which is fair. I bought opened Hamada City deck, which is like Cerulean City, I believe. I think that's like the Japanese translation is Hamada City. But yeah, I bought the open deck for like $20, and it comes with 2 promos, 2 holos, and then this, and you know all the other cards from the deck. But yeah, I love this artwork because of the story that it has. It's one of those rare, you know, technically, you know, banned cards. It's a buzzword that people throw around, but this card has a lot of buzz on it now, just because people want stuff with like history and lineage. And we're gonna start this part with some Japanese new back. So let's begin and flip it over. Let's go 9 in the Rowlith Munch promo. This is, as you can see on the label, a Sun and Moon promo. It's kind of, I don't know if they always put Sun and Moon promo on the label like that. But yeah, it's from the Munch, a retrospective campaign. This was a Japanese promo where it was an art exhibition in Japan, and if you attended the event, that you would get these cards. These cards have just exploded, ballooned, whatever buzzword you want to use, in value and cost, because really they are extremely unique. I think it's such a unique take on Pokemon. And this card is around like $80, $90 raw now, which I still think is a good buy because they're never going to come out with this art again. It really is like a once-in-a-lifetime art piece that you could own for a fairly affordable price. The only ones that are super expensive, in my opinion, are Pikachu and Mimikyu. You know, I might even go as far as to say that those are overvalued. But yeah, this card, really cool. Rowlith. And if you look in the background, you can see Mimikyu. I'm guessing this is another one of those Rowliths. Let's check. Ooh, 9.5 Gen Mint. Same exact card, but just a half grade higher. This one did better on surface, so I'm guessing that's what helped bring that grade up. Really, really cool artwork. One of the, I don't know. This is, like I mentioned the whole thing too, like dynamic artwork. or stuff with character. And while that Mewtwo and Mew GX card I showed is a great example of that, this is the same thing. A really good example of where they took like a creative risk or they did something interesting with the art instead of playing it super safe and generic. We're actually swapping to Japanese old back. I'm not sure what this is. Oh, I think I know what this is. You can just tell by the corners or the edges. I'm guessing this is my Koro Mew that I sent in. A CGC 7 near mint on the Koro Shining Mew. This is from the Koro comic, which still runs today. They have modern Koro promos. I think a lot of those are really good buys too because they have a stamp. But I don't know. I keep saying I want to make videos about stuff and I never get around to it. But yeah, Koro's still around. This is one of the most famous or iconic artworks that they've done. Just personally, one of my favorite Mew artworks. This one got docked for surface and edges. Honestly, both of those make a lot of sense. Look at the bottom here. You can see like there's a little bit of peeling on the edge. This back edge, same exact thing. There's whitening. And then just if you like look at this card in person, there's like a full body hollow on the front of it. And I think that full body hollow scratches super easily. And I think that's probably what's hurting these grades a lot of the time. All right, back to Japanese new back. Oh, Reg Challenge, Tag Team All-Stars. This is SM12A. This card has kind of like exploded as well, just because it's a artwork that got hyped up because it never came over the English. I purchased only a couple of these for like $25 a piece. And I bought even more of these actually fairly recently, like maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago. But yeah, really, really cool artwork of Red and Bulbasaur. And this is kind of one of those ones where I would say it's like more interesting and dynamic artwork. There's not much to say about it. I like the card. I don't necessarily think that it's worth where it is now. But, you know, as I said, that could be like a whole nother video discussion. This is probably the alternative. Blues Tactics. This is the alternate art that was Japanese only. Kind of a pair with Red's Challenge. And then I think there's Green's Exploration or Green Search. I think that's the third one. This one also got a 9.5, 10 center, 9.5 surface, 9 corners, 9.5 edges. If I got like a CGC 10 in either one of these, I would be quite happy with that. But I'm happy with a 9.5. I personally kind of like Blue's Tactics more. I know Blue isn't as popular of his character, but I love the Charmander in him on this card art. More Japanese. Nubek. Shibuya Pikachu. This is from the Pokemon Center Shibuya opening. This is actually Sword and Shield Promo 2. So 002 S-Pikachu on the bottom. Really cool artwork. Mint 9. Very respectable grade. I think I kind of mentioned this in a different part. Like I think anything over a 9 in CGC is a super respectable grade. And like, you know, that's where I would put most of my money if I was going to collect is on the 9s. Well, actually, and 9.5s. You should maybe look into buying this 9.5 for me if you want. Here we have Shibuya Pikachu, Gem Mint 9.5. Strong subgrades. Actually, kind of weak subgrades. One of the cooler artworks they've done for Pikachu. But you can honestly say that for so many Pikachu artworks. I'm just like, I watched a video last night as I was laying in bed, just of like Pikachu imitating other Pokemon. And as I watched that video, I realized like, oh my god, Pikachu is actually such a cute character. Like it finally clicked with me why people love this guy so much is like the Pokemon company has done such a good job of making Pikachu so fun to watch and like so enjoyable that he's the perfect mascot. That's all I can say. So it makes sense. And whenever they do artworks like this, it just reminds me like they have a lot of good ideas at that company. And new back, probably same card. Another 9.5. Oh, so 2 9.5s. 1.9 in the Shibuya Pikachu. Pretty much the same exact subgrade value, but yeah, 9.5. It's so cool. Shibuya Pikachu just holding the graffiti can. I think that might be because Shibuya is like famous for its graffiti scene, but I might be completely off the base with that. Going to Japanese old back. This one does have edge wear. We can see right on the back a little bit of edge wear. Honestly, not that bad. Oh, that back corner is really bad. Look at that. That's pretty bad. Let's flip it. Okay. That makes a lot of sense why it looks so bad. Because it is a bad grade. It's a Japanese no rarity Bulbasaur. We can see on the label. It's a 5.5, no rarity symbol. no rarity symbol is referencing the bottom right-hand corner. Oh, wow, look at that. There's like a fat crease on the card. And I've talked about this in other videos. So no rarity is widely considered by many to be the first run of Japanese Pokemon. So if you think about Japanese Pokemon first came out in 1996. It says on the label too, 1996. English Pokemon comes out in 99. So there's a 3-year gap where Japanese is technically the original run of Pokemon. And if you consider it in that way, that Japanese is always going to be the first print run of Pokemon, then Japanese no rarity is really the first print run of the Pokemon TCG, like the real first edition. The real first edition of Pokemon is Japanese no rarity. I'm not sure. Let's just throw it on top of the Mew. And I'm guessing this is the Ivysaur. Let's see the back. Yeah, super bad. Look at that. Like just dirty card. I picked up both of these for $40 on Yahoo Japan. I'm not really sure if it's worth it because there's not a huge market for no rarity stuff. I think that's something that's still a little bit untapped or like a little undervalued. But yeah, oh, actually, we look in the back. Insufficient ink. If they threw this on the back, it means they're designating it an error card. Ivysaur, here is the no rarity Ivysaur. So it says there Ivysaur base set no rarity symbol. And it's actually a 6, so technically a higher grade than the Bulbasaur, but it is an error, which I think is pretty cool. I'm trying to just think of like this is a very cool card because technically it's the first edition of Japanese base set, and not only is the first edition, it's also an error card from that era. So this is rare. Like this is one of a kind card. I think you say it definitively, and it's saying that there's insufficient ink. Oh yeah, you can. I don't know if it's gonna pick up well on camera. Let me angle it a bit. Yeah, right there. You can see it. There's like a streak, diagonal streak, where it looks like there's just I don't know. It's like the green isn't there. The green ink isn't on the card, and you get like this blue coming through. So that's pretty cool. Like I obviously didn't notice that when I submitted this card in. I would have probably just thrown it in an error sub. But the fact that I didn't throw it in an error sub, it still got designated for the error because I really do appreciate this, that they noted it themselves. When they were looking at the card, they're like, oh, this isn't just a normal no rarity or normal Ivysaur. They like kind of went through the extra step for me and designated it an error. You know, big props to CGC. I appreciate that. Swapping over to English. Just the Evolutions Charizard. This card has heated up and then kind of went back down. There was a little bit of a reality check on this card. I think Evolution's booster box prices are still kind of absurd for how much this card is worth. But yeah, 8.5, a respectable grade. I picked this up for like $60 on eBay. So I wasn't too worried about the grade, but yes, 8.5. Decent. Let's see, another English. Mewtwo pre-release. I'm a huge stamp fan. I've mentioned this many times in the past that I just love stamps. And I picked up this Mewtwo pre-release for, I think, $40. And why I bring that up too is, I mean, this is such a cool card. Mewtwo with the XY Evolution stamp. I don't know. It's not the most valuable card. I just like how this looked. And what had happened with this was I picked up a pretty beat up copy for $50. Evolution got super hyped up, and I was able to sell that beat up copy for like $160 raw. And then I found this copy on Facebook that I thought was in better condition for $40. So yeah, I make $90, recoup the cost of what I put in the other one, and get an even better quality one. So yeah, because the other one I had definitely not great. 7 and lots of edgeware. English pack. Rayquaza GX, shiny Rayquaza GX and a 9.5. This is a fun one to see, because this is a card that I graded a bunch in the past of, and none of them came back above 9.5. Most of them were like, I think 8s. 8 to 8.5 were majority of them. So I see a 9.5 in this. I pulled this myself from my premium collection that I bought. And that one's a funny story too, because I bought a premium collection Hidden Fates box for like $80 on eBay, because there was like some random person said they found it at, I don't know. I think it was a return that someone found that they picked up. And they, their whole eBay like history that they were like selling dolls and stuff. So they had no history of selling Pokemon. They had this one product in stock. I took a whim and bought it, and I got a 9.5. That's a great card. Shiny Rayquaza, you can't go wrong. I have tons of those coming in the mail. Ooh, Charizard V Max. 9.5. This is the Japanese one. It comes in Charizard VMAX starter set, which is just a deck. Actually, it comes with like a playmat and whatnot. But I love Charizard VMAX. You can't go wrong with him. The past ones I had sold super well in 9.5. And I think if you saw it in I think it was in my February video, I bought 20 of those. No, I bought 30 of those, and I submitted all 30 in that video. So I'll definitely recommend checking that out. English pack, Charizard Vivid Voltage Cracked Ice Hollow. Leon's Charizard, as some people call it, just Leon and Charizard. That Cracked Ice shows super well. 8.5 near mint. This is probably just one of those promos that isn't packaged well, so it does typically get scuffed on surface and corners. But yeah, the Cracked Ice Hollow is unique because it comes from a theme deck. It's not like the other cards that the other Charizard, which is from the set. This one you only get from the theme deck. So another one, all right, a 9. Same exact card, but, much stronger subgrades actually. But the Cracked Ice is all right. But I will say I'm probably not the biggest fan of Cracked Ice. I don't know. It doesn't really do much for me. Oh, okay. Special delivery Pikachu. Yeah, I had 7 of these. I submitted 4 in this video. This sub. Look at that artwork. Such a cute one. Pokemon Center. Just a Pokemon Center holo. But yeah, this is one of those cards that it's an English exclusive Pikachu promo, and for that reason, it kind of makes sense why it's so much. Just because this is the first time I can think of that we've really gotten our own English exclusive artwork. Most of the stuff that we get as promos comes over from Japan first. And it's kind of watered down most of the time when it comes over. But this just stands out by itself as a unique piece. So I'm guessing this is another one. Another 9. So 2 9s. 2 9s out of 4. So pretty respectable. This is one of those ones that I'm guessing, I don't know. I'm guessing it's going to be docked a lot on surface and corners. Probably edges too. Just from how it's packaged. They're not packaged well. And just think about them too. They threw these cards in with other stuff that you bought, so they're moving around in shipment. I think there's a great chance that a lot of these are damaged. So I'm gonna cut the video here. The original cut of this return video was around 50 minutes long, and I've already trimmed down some of the parts, but it's still 40 something minutes, and I think that's too long to do for one video. So this is the first half of the return, and I'll make a video showing the second half. Just probably later on this week. Same exact format and title. Just expect to see that soon. All right, so stay tuned.